Hey folks, today I'm going to be showing you how I play the 1994 Decipher Star Trek the Customizable Card Game in a solitaire form. I think this format, the way I play it, would transition really nicely to playing somebody else over Skype. But because this game is a race, essentially the goal is to see how many turns it will take to get the 100 points required to win the game. So I just play with the original Black Border Premier. You could use White Border too, but that 363 card pool back from in '94. You'd recognize booster boxes that look just like this. Either say limited edition or nothing there. Here's what one of those booster packs would look like. Your starter decks came in one of these. These would have 2 rares and a bunch of uncommons and commons. All right, so here's how I do it. First, I pick my affiliation. You can choose from the Federation. You got your Romulans. Here's a sweet Romulan ship. Or the Klingons. There's some non-affiliated cards too, but really you're going to pick one of those 3 affiliations. I have chose the Federation, the most powerful of that premier set. So the first thing we need is a space line, your mission cards. So what I've done is I've divided up all of the mission cards in the premier set into space missions and planet missions. I am going to use 4 of each. I am going to use an 8-card space line, mostly because that is the width of my playmat. So we'll start with these, mix them up, and we're going to use 4. Again, everything is going to be really random in this game so that I can check out all of the different cards that were available. And it looks like I got a space one mixed in. Whoops. Put that one in that pile. And 4. Okay, so those are going to be my 4 planet missions. Remember, to win this game, you need to complete both a space and a planet mission. All right, these should be all my space missions now. And again, I have filtered out anyone that can't be completed by the Federation. If I was going to be playing Klingon or Romulan, I would do the same thing and make sure that I can at least attempt all the missions. All right, and now for space. So those will be the missions that I can attempt. We are going to mix these 8 up to create our space line. Have a nice random space line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. All right, now I'm going to choose where to seed my outpost. Ideally, we would like something in the middle, but I also want to complete one quickly because I am going to have some artifacts. And if I complete a planet one, I can get one of those artifacts. So I'm going to put the outpost on my easiest mission here, this 25-pointer excavation. All right, next, let's talk about dilemmas. Typically, if I was playing against an opponent, we would be seeding dilemmas underneath each other's missions or even our own to try to stop them. Well, I don't have an opponent. I'm playing by myself, so we're just going to select randomly. So this first pile, when I attempt to complete a mission, is the dilemmas from the premier set that can be put under a planet or space mission. We'll mix these up. If I attempt a mission, I'm going to draw 3 dilemmas. These would be, I believe, planet. Yep. These are all the planet dilemmas. We're going to mix those up. So if I attempt a planet mission, we're going to draw a couple of those, see if I can overcome them. And again, I'm doing it this way instead of randomly placing them under the missions because it'll be faster in terms of setup. Here are the space missions. Here's some classics like Cytherians, Nagilum, and of course everyone's favorite, the Borg ship. So we'll mix these up. All right. And then finally, if I complete a planet mission, I'm going to randomly draw an artifact. Okay, so one for each planet mission that I could do. These are some of the most powerful cards in the original set. We've got the Varieté Disruptor, makes your away team stronger. This guy here, the Krillin Naskos, if you have all 7 of the personnel types, you would triple the range, weapons, and shields of a starship. That would actually be super useful if you encountered the Borg ship. You could actually destroy it and get 45 points. Interface Generator, that helps with away team missions. You would see this actually nullifies a lot of the common dilemmas that you would see. Horgan gives you double turns, which is ridiculously powerful. And then the Betazoid gift box would let you pick 3 cards. So if you're trying to finish a specific mission, you could dig for those. I'm actually not playing with events and interrupts. And there's a reason for that. Most of the really cool event and interrupt cards from this set are meant to interact with an opponent, which I don't have. So these are kind of like counter spells. This would be for attacking an opponent's ship, the Borg. These cards are basically useless without an opponent. There are some really cool cards even for playing Solitaire. This is the most broken card in the entire set. This red alert allows you to just spew your hand onto the field. You can play as many cards as you want. So that kind of defeats the purpose of a race, because basically if you draw this, you are going to be laps ahead of anyone who doesn't. There's some other like card draw cards that would be really cool, but today I am not playing any events or interrupts. I am just playing personnel from my draw deck. The Supernova, if you team that up with the Tox Utat, that's what turns this on, you can basically destroy one of the spaceline locations. The only way this would be useful in a Solitaire setting would be for destroying the Borg ship. But again, I'm not messing with that today. All right, so, oh, and equipment cards. There's equipment too. That's boring, never use them. Okay, now that I've got my space line set up and I can draw my dilemmas here, I've got my draw deck. I'm gonna draw 7. Let's see who we get. Picard, there's a classic. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay. We've got turn 1. We're going to go for excavation. You only need archaeology or cunning greater than 32. I happen to know Picard has archaeology. You can play 1 card per turn. So we're going to put him at the outpost. Now, you could send him down there to try it alone, but he's probably going to get wrecked by one of these dilemmas. But why not? Let's give it a shot. Turn 1, Picard is going to attempt excavation. It is a planet dilemma. So usually I go for 3 dilemmas per mission that I'm trying. And I'll typically first pick the planet or space, whatever it is, and then mix one of those dual ones in the middle. So this is my planet pile. Top dilemma. Alien parasites. What does that do? Unless integrity greater than 32, the away team is infected. They beam back, and opponent immediately controls ship and crew until stopped. So that's an interesting point. This is one of these dilemmas that really was designed for a 2-player game. But at the very least, we would say that Picard is stopped. So anyway, this is how I would play. The game would go on. At the end of my turn, I would draw another card. Got Mr. Will Wheaton himself, Wesley Crusher. Advance this to turn 2, because again, it's a race, and I'm trying to see how many turns I can successfully get to 100 points. And I would just go up and down the space line, attempt all my missions, try to get rid of those 3 dilemmas each time, and see if I can get 100. Quickest wins. Like I said, I think this would be a really fun thing to play over Skype too. So if you are interested in playing me in a match, we could certainly do this. We'd both be using that 363 card pool. You would just create your space line on your end of the computer. Also, the idea of random dilemmas, it is something I came up with, but when I was reading this really cool book from 1994 that I got off Amazon for all of $4, it talks about a lot of stuff like that in the back, like alternative ways of playing. There's some cool strategy stuff in here with some of the dilemmas, and then it does card profiles as well. So if you're interested in playing with that premiere set, this is a really fun book to read. And the most important piece, of course, you gotta have proper hydration during a game like this. This is the Furious IPA brewed right here in Minneapolis, Minnesota. You get this thing taken care of and you're gonna have a good game. So I hope you enjoyed my very short tutorial. First one to 100 wins. Good luck.